All right. Let's see. What do we want to do on Thursday? I think we're going to start by playing a little hip hop. See if it kicks on. It's going to kick on? Huh? Is it even playing? Do I have sound? I see something. Uh-oh. Am I scuffed again? Oh, no. I think it's just because. There we go. All right. Let's see. Man, I'm kind of redlining a little bit on my mic here. Let me lower that a bit. Testing 1, 2, 3. I just realized I was probably a little loud last time, huh? Maybe a little less on the music side too. There we go. Cool. All right, getting set up here. How's it going, guys? I hope you're having a good day. Welcome to Free For All Thursday. Are we having more streaming issues with regard to frame rates and speed and stuff? Might be. I hope to hell not. I really don't need more of that. That was a pain in the butt. What up, brother Jonathan? Little jittery, huh? I'm noticing some jitter here. I can close the control room, I think. That might help things a little. Alright. There we go. I think we should be good there. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Disable. Telegram can't pop up in the middle of chat. That would suck. Alright. There we go. Okay. How's it going, guys? How's your Thursday? Oh, geez, that buffering's worrying me. I don't know why I'm getting so much buffering these days. I didn't have it before, and now I'm suddenly getting it. And I'm like, is Fios doing something funky? Like, what's going on there? Like, why am I getting so much lag all of a sudden? Let's see. That tweet doesn't exist. I click it and I get nothing. So we're getting a lot of network instability here. Alright, so I'm trying to figure out the whole fact that I'm having weird network issues. It's very frustrating. I don't know what's going on there. We have a BTC bridge. Is that RenVM? Is that what RenVM is? I don't know. I don't really pay attention much. I guess I should, but I don't want to. Alright, let's take a look. So there is a new thing called RenVM, and I'll take a look at what it is. Cool. So somebody just linked me in chat. It was Mr. Ooh, that name is hard to read in here. Caracal. Great name, by the way. He just linked me something in chat, which is a new thing called RenVM. That sounds really familiar. That sounds really familiar, actually. Is this the same group that did this? Because if so, I did an episode. Is this Long Wang? Is he the CTO of whatever RenVM is? Because if so, I met this guy. It's been so long. Like, this episode was recorded. Oh, shucks, that had been, I don't even know. That was a long time ago. Unfortunately, this is the Apple podcast thing, which would be too long ago. So I got to go to bitcoinpodcast.com. I don't even know. So episode 46, that must have been like, I want to say February, maybe? January of 2019, maybe? 2 years ago. So it's been like 2 years since I first even heard about that, if this is the same group. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Oh, we're having more technical difficulty. Okay. I have a lower pitch. Ay. So, let's see. I don't have anything weird going on with my audio stuff. I don't know what would cause that. Like, do you mean... How's this? Is this better? Oh, that's fader gain. No, that should be right. Okay, is this better? Like, do you hear me? I don't know why that Lower pitch. I don't have anything that would do pitch shifting, like at all. Does everything sound fine on YouTube? Jeez Louise, what a messy couple days here, huh? I didn't do anything different either. I don't know what's freaking scuffing the whole audio side of things. Wavelink. Yeah, man, it's all good. It's all good on my end. It looks right. Looks correct. All right. What I can do is maybe restart the stream real quick and see if that helps. But there shouldn't be any problems here. So I'm a little confused why. Are you still having the problem? Hold on, let me hear myself. Oops. Hold on, let me hear myself. What the heck? Holy crap, what's going on there? Oh my god. That's so cool. Oops. Oh my god, I don't even know what's causing that. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god. Did refreshing it fix it for you? Okay, so just refresh the stream if you're seeing it. Let's see if it fixes it for me too. It's like, I think the stream is... So now it says that my network connection is totally, like, excellent, which is great. It wasn't before. For some reason, it was a problem. But, like, I think what's happened is Which is great. It was... There we go. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think the whole, like, stream was trying to catch up. And so it sped everything up just to catch up to now. And so Twitch tried to do a thing. And that's probably why you got that problem. So just hit the refresh button. It should take care of it. That's pretty dope, though. I've never seen that before. I mean, it's not dope. It's confusing as hell. But anyway, wow, yet another great start, huh? It both times seemed to revolve around both audio issues, which honestly, I think the last time was a different issue with the audio. I got that taken care of. But this time, it's again, the internet is what's causing me some problems here. And it's funny, because I got gigabit internet. I got great internet. Like, and if I run a speed test, like, I'm doing fine. Like, my internet is totally fine, except for some reason when I'm streaming, it doesn't want to do it. So I don't know what's going on with that. It's doing fine now though. So let's start this music back up, huh? There we go. All right. Well, that was interesting, and that's taken care of. So, going back to RenVM, apparently RenVM, the permissionless decentralized virtual machine protocol, has been integrated with Avalanche. I interviewed Long Wang, who I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is probably involved with this project. I think it's the same project, unless there's a different Ren. So let me find that out real quick. There's Jay's words, Michael Burgess. Get started here. So, yeah, this is the same group. This is the same group, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. So, let's see. Is this the same group, huh? Who is behind this? I think it is the same. So I would have to go back over that interview from a while ago, but that's interesting. I don't see like an about us or anything. I hate that. Like, I want to know who's involved with projects. I don't know why people hide that. I don't want to pick on anybody at Ava Labs much, but like, there was a page, and I don't even know if it's still there. And like, the first thing I want to do when I look at a project is like see who's the team and who's involved. And like, this was all like why isn't the CEO and the executive front and center? It drives me crazy. Like, I know that Goon doesn't want that, but like, it's like, I'm sure these are all wonderful people, right? But like, I want to see who the executive management is of any About Us page. And anybody who mixes it up like that is just fake. I don't like it. I know that Goon likes it. I don't care. It's terrible. I'm going to be very like, Goon is literally dead center of this. Like, why? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, front and center. Want to know who's behind the project. I'm sure Avni is a great guy, but like no. Like, no. I hate that. I hate that. It's so fake. Like, oh, come on. Like, nobody doesn't believe what's going on there. Like, we know what you're trying to do. Okay. Like, it falls on dead ears. The utility of this page, the literal purpose of this page is to figure out things like, who is the CEO? That's like the first thing you want to know. So it drives me crazy. I've already been vocal about that in the company. I don't mind being vocal about it on the stream. I'm right, they're wrong. So anyway, going back to this, like, there's no like question I'm right about that. I've been doing web pages for fucking years. I know what people actually use this page for. I'm right. So anyway, it's a weird, I don't get that philosophy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So anyway, I'm looking up Ren protocol and I'm trying to find who is behind the protocol. Like, that's what I immediately want to know. Who's behind the protocol? By the way, I'm not trying to derail the topic. We're going to get into this a bit. This is actually cool and interesting. I'm glad this popped up. If it's a bridge between BTC, that's amazing. But I could use. I have a platform, so I'm going to use that platform. And the platform I'm going to use to say, guys, have a team page and tell me who's behind it, so I don't have to waste my time trying to figure out who's behind it by looking up every freaking employee on LinkedIn. Like, I want to know who's behind behind the project. The only reason you hide that is it looks shady to me, actually, most of the time. Not with Alpha Labs, but in this case, like, not even in this case. I just want to know who they are. Like, how do I know who's behind a project? And it's very important to me. And I'm not even, because, like, I never remember who, like, I don't remember. I would have never been able to tell you Ryan's name or Long Wang's name. See, I couldn't even do it there. Like, I couldn't do it off the top of my head. Like, I forget people's names constantly. So the first thing I do is when I go to a webpage, I go, team. Oh yeah, I met that guy. And like, literally it like jogs my memory. And when I see a new project, I go, team. Oh, I've heard of that guy, or I saw his tweets on Twitter, or who is that? Maybe I should look into him, look him up on LinkedIn. But like, genuinely, legitimacy is built around who the executive management is on any team. Period. And like, you got to put the team page front and center. This is a little web design help, guys. Like, if you want to be a legitimate organization, the first people that come up is the executive management. And the first thing that people do who aren't familiar with a project or want to learn more is that, well, engineers might be a little different, but for me, and I guess I just don't identify as an engineer that much, is like, I look at the team page, I go, who's behind this? Are they qualified? Can they build something like this? And I guess a good engineer would do that, right? And I go, who's qualified? What are their quals? Like, why are they able to do this and other people aren't? Or why are they able to pull this off? And the first thing I need to do is like look up the team. That's like the most important part, right? And it pisses me off about Alpha Labs page is like, we got one of the best teams on the planet and they're hiding it. It's like, why? Put it front and fucking center. Like, anyway. So I think that Ryan Long is, I'm sorry, why do I keep calling him Ryan? Long Wang is actually involved in this project. I think I did do an interview with them. I don't remember it very much, but just a little old school self-promotion. I'll go ahead and pop that in the chat there. Okay, so Alameda Research acquires interoperability project Ren. So let's look into Alameda Research then. Thank you very much, by the way. See, like, this should not be this freaking hard. Oh! Sam Bankman-Fried's Alameda. See, I didn't even know that he was running Alameda Research. I don't know anything about Alameda Research. So, like, first thing I gotta do is look up who Alameda Research is then. It's like this whole chain of, like, the string of who is who that you have to go through. And it's like, they're hiding it. I hate that. Just show me who you are. Tell me who you are. I care who you are. I care who's running the show. Like, I care. It's not even like a, yeah, his name is Long Wang. All right, we're gonna be adults about this, okay? I'm sure he gets it enough. He doesn't need to hear it from us. So, let's see. We're gonna develop a team of predators for Solana and our multi-chain libraries, NeuroMDM itself. Yeah, it's not clear what the terms of joining are. Well, either way, I think I am almost certain this is the same project. So, especially since their GitHub page says Ren Protocol on it. So I'm pretty sure that it is the same group. So yeah, there's that chat. So I need to remember like what they were pitching back then. There's RenVM right there. Okay, cool. So yeah, it's the same group. Cool. So they do a permissionless. Let's see how it works. Okay. Simple way to understand RenVM is think of it as a custodial. Think of it as a custodial what? Solution. Custodial. That holds your is custodial a standalone verb? I don't think it is. Hey man. Oh, chill bro. You gifted a sub to Tetris and Tacos too. That's dope as hell. Thank you, man. If you notice that Albalab's page is alphabetical order, but like, I don't care about alphabetical order. Nobody does. Who's running the show? Period. So, yeah, that was my gripe. Even when I worked there, I was just like, yeah, no, you can't do this. But actually, it was Goon. I think he was the most insistent that he didn't want to do it that way. I don't know. I never understood the reasoning. Anyway, so that holds your digital assets the way we move between blockchains. Trusted bridges require individuals or entities to process and validate the transactions. RenVM is a trustless and therefore is able to validate transactions without the need to trust a single individual or entity. Instead, the trust is distributed. Okay. RenVM distributes the trust across the network of decentralized nodes called dark nodes. Okay. Yeah, I think we talked about that. I don't remember how it works from the podcast, but it's really great podcast. I remember I enjoyed speaking with him. I actually went in a little skeptical on that one because it's like, who are these spies? It's like, again, like, who are you? Where did you come from? What are you doing? Why, and actually he did very good in his description of the technology, and I thought there was some teeth there. So yeah, that was actually a good podcast. I linked it earlier. Definitely check it out if you're interested in what Ren's up to, or what they were up to 2 years ago. It looks like they made a significant amount of progress since then, and I'm glad to see it because I remember that Long was a really cool guy. When RenVM receives Bitcoin, it immediately mints a 1-to-1 ARC20. Okay, cool. Representation on Avalanche. So you guys know, I'll reiterate, ARC20 is the wrapper. It's basically an ERC20 compatible Avalanche standard that also has native token support on the X-Chain. So it's really great. So now you can have the X-Chain fast transfer as well as like the C-Chain smart contract logical like exchange DeFi crap, that stuff. All right. If a user wants to transfer between other RenVM supported blockchains, it can be done as RenVM ensures that each bridge token conforms to the standard of the destination chain. Okay, cool. Same Rainbow Bridge by Near protocol, basically. Okay. Cool. K of N multi-sig custodial bridge. Got it. Okay. So K of N means that if you have like 7 signatures, seven people, N people is 7. You have like 5 signatures required, or 3 signatures would be really weak, but 5 signatures required. So a majority of the signatures are necessary in order to sign for a particular thing. But you can set K to whatever you want. It's just recommended that it's set to something odd. But yeah, no. So you need to make sure N is set to something odd typically. Not K K doesn't matter quite as much, but N needs to be set to something odd so you don't have like a split decision. But yeah, basically, if you have a certain number of signatures, you can actually transfer the assets on the bridge. Signatures are maintained by a decentralized network, so I think it's some DKG stuff. So distributed key generation is normally what they use in that kind of situation, if I'm understanding the bridge concept properly. So that would be pretty cool. But I don't know that for certain, so I'm not going to say that's what they're doing here. I do remember that I did this podcast with Long, and it was really good. So each bridge will have eventually a new token that won't fragment liquidity. Yeah. Cool. So now we have a BTC bridge through RenVM, which is dope. We need more of that stuff, There's a big ecosystem out there. This is the free-for-all day. So, like, we're talking about the bigger ecosystem. Now, I don't personally like Bitcoin. Like, I don't, and it's not because I dislike what Bitcoin's done. It's not because I dislike what Nakamoto has done. In fact, from a historical context, Bitcoin's amazing. But as a technology, it's not going to deliver what we need for, a global store of value or even a global asset exchange. It's not sufficient. It's too slow. It's a small pipe. I mean, Bitcoin goes 7 transactions per second. Okay, you can increase that TPS, but doing so also decreases your security, because if you just make bigger block sizes, it actually becomes irrelevant at a certain point. Like, you have a 1 gigabyte block size, like, how long is your validation period going to be for that block? And are you really going to fill up that block? Like, these kind of like balancing act things that goes on with Nakamoto kind of suck. And you know, there's a whole bunch of other like synchrony issues, and there's like minor extracted value problems, blah 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 blah, and the fact that it takes you know, a certain number of confirmations per Nakamoto style chain to actually come to finality on a transaction. So in Bitcoin, it actually takes 60 minutes for you to believe that a transaction has been transferred. You know, it's too long. You can't do that in a real world fast-paced setting. And I mean, people try and, you know, church it up and say, well, that's why it's good. Oh, you're dumping energy into it through proof of work. That's why it's good. But like, no, it's a proof of concept, man. And it's a good proof of concept. And it worked great and it showed that we could do the things that we're doing, and that probabilistic consensus on a global scale is acceptable. It proved that. Like, if it weren't for Bitcoin, I don't think Avalanche would exist at all. If it weren't for Ethereum, Avalanche wouldn't exist at all. Like these are really important projects, but from a technology standpoint, I don't think they're going to do what people want them to do. So, you know, I'm trying to disassociate myself as far from Bitcoin as possible, and also like to do the same thing with Ethereum, because I need people to understand that there's better ways to do things. And if we always think that the old ways are the best ways, we're going to get stuck. And I don't want us to get stuck. I want us to start moving forward. And so I need to start people thinking about, hey, are there alternatives to the EVM? Are there alternatives to the Bitcoin model that still might have maybe even an energy cost associated with Sybil, if you care about that? I don't. But, you know, it's you know, there should be more flexibility in our systems and more speed, faster finality. I mean, like, Avalanche is great. So I don't really like Bitcoin anymore, not because it's bad. It's just because it's not the hotness. You know what I mean? And I like the hotness. I like the hotness a lot. So Avalanche is the hotness. So I'm pushing that. I'm shilling that. Should just add liquidity and more options for arbitrage and cross-chain arbitrage. Oh, so each bridge will essentially be a new token. I'm not sure how they run it anyway. So point is that if you could get Bitcoin interacting with the Avalanche system in a way where you do not require a fully trusted third party, meaning that no direct custodial solution, that's better than you know, having some trusted intermediary doing it for you, some literal central entity. You know, that's my opinion on it, especially if it goes fast. And so we'll see. I have to look at their architecture more, and I'd have to see how their tech's actually built. But I think that anything that brings Bitcoin to the Avalanche ecosystem, it makes it easy for people to transact in the assets they already hold. It's great for everybody. It's great for us. That's for damn sure. So, all right. So, RenVM, good job. Glad to see it. Hope to see more. Happy for that work. Let's just go through this one quick. So you got Bitcoin Origin blockchain. They also support other blockchains such as BCH, Doge. So now we got Doge and Zcash. That's amazing. So any one of those chains could be brought here, but we're gonna use BTC as the example. It's put into the RenVM system, and that will then transfer it to Avalanche, or RenVM connects to Avalanche, and then there's RenBTC. So yes, it does have its own token, and then you can use RenBTC for your DeFi app. So it's literally translating RenBTC, but I don't think it's wrapped. I hope it's not. I mean, wrapped's cool, I guess. But like having it down to the Satoshi level of granularity of operation would be cool. Rather than wrapped, which kind of like says this is one BTC, it is kind of wrapped, and you have to split it if you want to make more. Yeah, having like a native like I guess it's not too big a deal either way. Okay, cool. So this is dope. I guess it's essentially the same thing, your equivalent. But yeah, no, this is great. So I'm glad to see it. RenVM, congratulations on being part of the Avalanche ecosystem. Welcome. All right, so check out the Ren project here. definitely scope that out and learn more about how to work with Avalanche on it. Oops, I hit the wrong tag. Here's the article. Here you guys go. All right, let's see. I got a tweeter in the chatter that I'm gonna put here. Mr. or person Pippy Whippy sent this tweet in chat. Let's take a look at it real quick. That's coming up, not supported at the moment, but is fully expected to be supported. What are we talking about here? So let's start from the top. He said, Goon was being tested by the Radix guy on composability, and Goon said it was going to be supported. What are your views on how likely it is Avalanche will actually support composability between subnets within, say, a year or two? This is a huge task requiring a lot of theoretical work. Or do you think they already know how to do it in case of building it? Composability is a dumb word, but composability is more of an emergent property than an actual property, if that makes sense. So like I get what they're getting at here. Like in the Ethereum space, it's very easy to say things are composable because they're homogeneous. Like the chain itself is like all the same chain. There's no heterogeneity at all. Like everything is EVM. Like if you're building a smart contract on EVM and everything's interacting on the same chain, it's all doing the same, opcodes. It's literally contracts, that kind of thing. So it's like easy to pick on composability as a feature of blockchain and interaction and but literally like that's a monolithic chain. So like it's very different thing to ask for composability when you don't know what will be the means of exchange or even the language between exchange. So in other words, if I have a packed VM on subnet A and a move VM on subnet B, they're different protocols, they're different systems. So what you need to do is define a standard for cross subnet transfer. Now here's the thing, subnets can technically go subnet to subnet directly. There's nothing that would stop that and bypass consensus entirely and just do a direct transfer, which actually is probably going to happen in reality a lot more than you think because people do that already. You just don't hear about it. Like it's everywhere. Like that kind of stuff happens in like Coinbase and stuff. And like it's normal. Like it's normal to do that kind of trusted wet contract work, right? They can do whatever they want, and that level of composability won't be violated. It's just there. The question you're asking is like, will this composability happen in an automated way? Are there basically going to be automated bridges which have a standard for exchange in a trustless manner using the Avalanche protocol? And I see no barriers to that. All I see is a bunch of standardization work, but I also see the biggest problem being a protocol level standard. And if you don't adhere to the protocol, then you're going to have problems. Now, this becomes kind of an issue when you have things like Move versus Pact, right? They're two different VMs, and neither of them have the same sort of methodology for making that exchange. So you have to build sort of like a wrapper around those existing VMs in order to get them to actually do this standardized transfer. Do I think there's any barriers to that? Absolutely not. But knowing what that standardized transfer should look like is going to be a very... you have to be very thoughtful about it. You don't want to be too prescriptive, but you also don't want to be so unprescriptive that you can't verify things in a universal way. So I think that, it's totally possible. I think it's not technically supported at the moment because there's no standards around it, but it's something that we can totally do. And if you transfer out of an asset out of a subnet onto the Avalanche network, let's say you just say, I transfer from my subnet on this chain to the X chain. Now it's standardized in X chain format, and you can export again to the other subnet on the Move chain or whatever. It's like there's a lot of ways to cut that bird, and I think we're probably going to do all of them eventually. But it's not a problematic issue. So that's the only thing. The question then you have is like, what about automated logic? And personally, I don't think that you should try and do composability between subnets in an automated way. I feel like these should be explicit things that happen. And one way that could work is like I send an operation transaction to the X chain, which is then picked up by the validators validating the another subnet. So my subnet does an operation export to a type of transaction, which basically says do this operation, and these are the assigners, and then the other subnet's VM picks up on that, or the other subnet validators pick up on that and do the import. Something weird like that. Like it should, that would be like the highest level security to do that with, and safety, I should say, to do that with. Do it as in that way. I don't know how to phrase that, but I don't think it's like an impossible feat. Like it just, you need to be thoughtful about it. I don't think that you should have an expectation though that there will be one universal like smart contract composability in a real direct way, meaning that, you know, how you have like, if you look at Dharma Protocol, for instance, they have this huge spaghetti code of contracts calling contracts, which, you know, I mean, they had to do, right? That's composability, especially when you consider that other projects can use those smart contracts to do the same thing. This is true for Uniswap as well, the whole DeFi space. But like, there's going to be like little DeFi or whatever, like, what do I call it? Like subcultures, maybe. Like this chain is really good for this DeFi or something like that. I don't think you're going to get the universal monolithic chain like network effects on Avalanche, except through like something like the C chain. That's just because of the way things are, you know. I don't think so. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think composability across subnets is needed. I think the ability to do some automated work that can be picked up by another subnet is probably going to be very useful. Again, like if I'm exporting an asset to with a specific data field, for instance, and the validators pick up on that automatically and then do an automatic import, that would be cool, right? But I don't know. When do we expect the first useful subnet? Hey, guess what, man? Primary network is a subnet technically, so, but that's being a little terse. I don't know. Once the subnets are code is made, I think we're gonna see a lot of work on that quickly. So my buddy Noah, Don Wonton, he has some really good ideas already and some work going in that direction with building sort of like an NFT-based subnet that's very specialized for special types of NFTs, and his ideas are very cool. I think we're going to see that kind of work first, but you know, I don't actually know when that work will be tackled or done. Now, I talked to Goon about it, and he said it's like high on their priority list now. It's just one of those things that, unfortunately, just because it's high on the priority list doesn't mean there aren't higher things on the priority list. And as we know, getting the primary network stable is something that's super essential. Not only that, but anything dealing with subnets requires deep thought. Like, it doesn't require, you don't want to just like YOLO these subnets, as the little double mint issue we had like when Pangolin came out. Like that was a problem, and a lot of it was because it was a little bit of YOLO on the cross subnet cross chain transfer stuff. Not intentional. It was a testing issue for sure. Like, I mean, if somebody had tested that, it would have been caught. But you know, you want to be thoughtful about this stuff. You want to be careful, and I think there's a place in it. The company is clearly at a place to do that right now, hiring like mad. So I think that's great. But that does mean that, you know, you can't expect it to be just like shoved out the door quickly. It's something you got to do right, because doing it wrong has nasty consequences. So I don't know when. It takes as long as it takes. You're not going to shove something out just to meet a deadline. In my opinion, I think that's the wrong way to do things. You do things, you publish things when they're ready, not when they're, you know. But I don't think we're going to run into an issue like ADA, though, or Cardano, where they're like promising for years and nothing ever gets delivered. I can guarantee you it's not that situation. We have way more integrity than that. It's just like, why would we want to promise a deadline that we're not even ready to deliver on, you know? Breaking things is even in blockchain okay, in my opinion. I don't know. Move fast and break things was what got us out the door, but I never was. I mean, like, we lost a lot of value. We went from $60 to like what, 20, 23 in like just because of that double minting issue. Like, that's a lot of money that could have got. We were on trajectory to for 100. Like that double minting issue screwed us. And I know why it happened is because we were going at breakneck speed. Like I told you, I left the company because I was burnt out. I couldn't do it anymore. I'm an older man. I can't do it anymore. I might look young, but I'm not. And I was tired and I couldn't keep going. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. And I know that's changed, so that's good. But it does mean that things will happen at a little more reasonable pace. Oh yeah, totally. I'm pretty sure it would be top 20 at the moment without the bug. Dude, literally that cast doubt in the company's ability to deliver good software. I got it from all sides personally. I can't even imagine what was going on therein. Like that one, it was not an obvious bug either. That's the worst part. It wasn't even something that was like super red alert. Like you should have seen this. Like it was freaking weird and. Like it was just an uncomfortable bug. Let's just call it an uncomfortable bug. It really pointed out that things needed to be tested a little better, and it's just one of those things that happens, you know. A lot of that market cap placement is due to token supply though, which this year is pretty heavy, really. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Pippy Whippy. Oh, Aphex Monkey asked something I didn't notice. The web wallet seems to have cross-chain transfers for ARC-20s. Is this supported at the API level at the moment and just waiting on the wallet implementation, or is there more we're waiting for? Doesn't seem to have cross-chain transfers for ARC-20s. I actually don't know. So the only way I could find that out is by looking at the old Avalanche.js. Take a look at some of the code that's down the pipe. Let's see. What's been updated recently? Updates. It's right here. Development. We can check the development branch. Take a look at what they're doing there. These are old, man. Clean that up. 8 days ago. Pub sub socket I think got integrated already. Stake UTXOs. I don't know what that is. Let's just check what development's up to. Okay. Let's compare. It doesn't look like a lot of that work is, but reward UTXOs. I don't see anything for ARC-20s. Now, what I can do is check the examples, which might have something more ARC-20-ish. So if I go to examples for, so like a lot, this, by the way, this work was done by Gabriel. Gabriel made a ton of examples. So anybody trying to do any work with Avalanche.js, this is where you go. But I don't see anything here with ARC-20s. And I'm not sure how ARC-20s are actually used. Oh, yeah. So export, exchange, ants. That might be it. Yeah, I'm not really sure, man. I would have to ask or something. I'm not really sure what's going on with the ARC-20 stuff. So yeah, what is the pub sub sockets? Is that the IPC stuff that we built for Artelius? Let's see. Bloom addresses, Bloom filters? Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, so you can watch a particular address. That's great. Yeah, that'd be super. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's dope. Anyway, I guess that's an API that they added, huh? Let's see. Can you tell I really am super involved in tech? I hate to say it, but it was never my thing. All right. It wouldn't be under IPC. I guess it would be under... I don't know where to look for... Is it a... I'll tell you what. So there's literally a pub sub API, or... What is pub sub? All right, well... Socket. Okay, thank you. Oof. I know what that is. My bad. All right. So that'll be Socket API here. I don't see it on Avalanche Go APIs. Oh, IPC socket URL format maybe? I don't know. Events. So there's an events API. Interesting. That's good. I don't see anything here. Reference maybe? Yeah, I don't even know where to look for this. So I wouldn't even be sure. But I do want to say that there is an API like export here, and you can actually view all this stuff. Like everything is that should actually link directly to. I don't know what they did to the docs then, because this used to be like a read the docs that would actually go straight to a read the docs we exported. I'm not sure what's happening here, but all right. Well, it is what it is, man. Yeah, I don't know what this is, but okay. So, anyway, so yeah, the PubSub stuff must be cool. I do not do the promotions promise, sidetracked in his talk. Oh wait, so let's see, go back. I don't understand what actually led to the double mint. Yeah, the PubSub sockets are, yeah, that was a little code bug. I can't even remember the postmortem myself. So if you go to medium.com/ava, was it Ava Labs? There we go, Avalanche of OxX. If you look at some of the developer stuff, oof. Yipes. This will go all the way back to... Wow, okay, it probably won't even be on here. Oh, that's 2020, no wonder. I don't know where to look for this. So this phase 0, there's gotta be a postmortem. Now it's all non-developer stuff on the developer stuff. All right, I don't know. What are we gonna call it? Invalid minting bug. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Somebody else linked it. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, I think it was something really like edge casey and goofy. And it boiled down to this. Timing dependent conditions. Those are always a pain in the butt. So yeah, that pretty much is what happened there. The fix is here. Yeah, that article explains it very well. I hope that helps you. I'm not going to go through that on stream here. So Free for All Thursday means we could talk about literally any chain that you want or any technology that you're interested in. Obviously, people come here mostly for Avalanche, but I'm open to talking about anything in the Ethereum system too, or anything DeFi. Even though I don't like DeFi and it bores the shit out of me. Like you, oops, shouldn't curse. But you know, if you link it, I'll probably read it. This was the highest day of interactivity. This is a day you get to talk about literally anything that's got you excited. Like, I'm excited about the fact that Chainlink is integrated with the Avalanche testnet. I think that's dope. I think that's a good sign that we're about to see mainnet integration, and I think that's going to be super useful for anybody trying to do decentralized applications that require an Oracle. I mean, like, it's been kind of a... Wait, has it been a barrier? Are we on mainnet already? No, because I keep submitting that they need to do their stuff for that. What do you think about Cardano? I think Cardano's vaporware garbage. Like, do you know what their roadmap has been promising for years, and they've delivered on like none of it? Like, they only had a wallet called Daedalus, barely performed very well for years, and then they got this chain, and like I don't want to take the time to go through it because I just don't see anything coming out of it. There's nothing special about it, especially now that there's Avalanche. Like, Avalanche destroys literally everything that they do. I hear that Ouroboros has teeth, but I don't know if it does. I don't know if it necessarily actually does anything that special other than add proof of stake capability, which isn't the entire problem of blockchain. You know, there's a whole lot going on here. So, I heard Chainlink was delayed because the AEB bridge created it as an ERC20 instead of an ERC67. 677. That would make sense. Yeah. Let's see the difference between those standards. So ERC20 is the first proposal and is the loosest compatibility sort of for a token on Ethereum, for anybody who's not in the Ethereum space. But there was a lot of things they found afterwards which could have been improved upon a little bit from the original standard of ERC20, and so they added different standards to basically make a more robust versions of ERC20, and ERC677 is one of them. I don't know if it ever got improved. It's still open, so probably not, but looks like they drafted it. They did their token with the ERC677 standard. Yeah, 223 I know. So they added a transfer and call, which takes a receiver, an amount, and some data. So transfers the tokens to the receiver exactly using the ERC20's transfer. So that's why it takes a receiver and the amount. And then it logs an event. Once the transfer has succeeded, the event is logged. The tokens... Let's log the tokens call on token transfer on the receiver with the sender. What? Not approved any additional bytes as data parameters. On token transfer, which takes bytes, and on token transfer on the receiving contract. So then it calls another contract. So it's like chaining two contracts together. Got it. So it's the ERC20 that does it adds a call that does a transfer and then calls another contract, which makes perfect sense why they'd need that. So, like, yeah, if they did that by ERC20 standard instead of ERC677, then they can't. The bridge needs to be fixed to adjust because that's necessary for what they're doing. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm kind of excited about this one. Xchain supported the NFT marketplace. Why is JC from Elk racist? Oh, for Christ's sake, Fuzzy Peaches. It took me way too long to notice you. There you go. None of that crap, please. You're gonna get me in trouble, thank ya. Alright, I really don't care about that gossipy crap, alright? Ever heard of Elk? Elk Finance. Have I heard of Elk Finance? The answer is no. No, I have not. I do not swim in DeFi pools, man. So, oh, there is a... hats off to you. What does that mean again? So I set up all these little Twitch things, and I think hats off to me means I take off my hat, and you get to see my bald head, right? Let me see, what did I set up here? Viewer rewards. Channel points. What are the rewards that I set up? Why doesn't it say? Oh, there we go. We got, dang, I wish it would just like tell me what I'm supposed to do, because I forgot. So, hats off to you. I take off my hat just for you for 5 minutes. Okay, you got 5 minutes from now, since I took my time on that. And my hat is off for you. So. Okay, cool. Yep, so my hat is off until, let's see, let's just make it liberal for you. Let's just go 4 p.m. 4 p.m. my time. I am going to put my hat back on so you don't have to see my shiny dome. Unless somebody else redeems hats off to you for 1,000 points. So, you guys want to know why I'm shaved like this? Is because if I wasn't, I would have the most disgusting balding head ever. I do not have a very good... I did not bald gracefully, let me put it to you that way. And I keep reminding you guys, I'm a lot older than I look. That's because I wear the freaking hats. And I shave my head. Like, if I just let my hair be the bald guy hair that I normally have, I would not have... You would be like, oh yeah, that guy's like 67. Like, no doubt. Like... So I gotta shave that old head, the old dome. What is the regulatory status of the Avox token? Why is it not green light by major U.S. exchanges? I have no idea, man. That's not in my realm. I can't comment on that kind of stuff. I wish I could. I know that regulatory status is that I'm allowed to have them. I got a 83B election when I joined the company, so there's that. They're registered in the United States for that. What the actual everything else is, I don't know what goes along with that. Unfortunately, that's not my domain. I would turn to an expert for that. But yeah. So Elk is creating a cross-chain solution that is as basic as transferring. So I feel like I'm getting pitched here, and I want to say I'm cool with it if you're polite about it. All right. That's what Free For All Thursdays are for. If you want to pitch me your stuff, I'm happy. It won't dominate the conversation, though. The moment it does, I got to cut it off. But yeah, let's take a look at it. Elk is creating a cross-chain solution that's as basic as transacting on a DEX. They have launched on 3 chains already, Avox, Matic, and Phantom. Okay, cool. So they're already on the Avox network, which is great, the Avalanche network. Let's see. So cross-chain liquidity network. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Forex markets are. Okay, well, cool. Talking to the wrong guy, not the audience for that. Hey, I linked you in Elk Telegram for your promo. Don't feel obligated to read into our project. I totally just... The people who are interested in that stuff will just saw about it. So that's pretty much it. I don't know anything about... I don't know anything about any of this stuff. Like, I've got zero interest in DeFi. Just can't get into it. Not interesting. Okay. It's not that I'm like all about tech either. Like, it's not like I'm super like, it's just like when you get into like the finance side of things, like if I wanted to be in finance, I would have gone into finance. You know what I mean? And it's just not my bag, you know? Like I like talking about things like how decentralized the network is, where the governance is coming from, how the U.S., is reacting to the changes and the environments, how they're dealing with security, blah blah blah. Like all that stuff is interesting to me. There's also the social change aspect. I like people who do use tokens for things that fund real world stuff, like not just swap and spit, which is what a lot of these DeFi things are. They're just swap and spit. They make spit token, and then they swap the spit token with somebody else's spit token, and it's just people spitting in each other's mouth trying to stay hydrated. And yeah, that's just not my thing. And by the way, that's the stock market too. So like, it's not like you're special. Like, it's just you're doing it without a regulatory body around you. So yeah, it's just not interesting to me. I just can't keep it up. Let's see. Yeah, spit pools. Yeah, make a spit token. Yo, seriously, you can use this as marketing. Make deep spit pools. Like, literally, I just invented a DeFi thing. Grant me some tokens as an advisor. I will take it and never, like, look at them again until, like, a year from now. We'll see where I'm happy to do that. I will not shill your stuff that hard, but you can use this clip at least. I'll give you full permission to use this clip. Make a spit token, create spit pools, and be very candid that you're just swapping spit around. Spitting into each other's mouth, trying to keep yourselves hydrated. You're going to eventually run out of spit unless you find new people to spit into your mouth. This is the grossest analogy ever, but it's so accurate. If I said it, it exists. Nice. But, I mean, look, finance and stuff, they all have their purpose. They actually serve a real purpose, and DeFi is the same way. It serves a purpose, but only in the ecosystem of crypto. So, unless you're like, it's not very easily attached to the outside world. Yeah, it's just not. And yeah, if you want to make money, it's a good thing to do, but it's basically gambling, in my opinion. So, what do I need to do that for? Anyway, it could be something later though. It's a kernel of something to come. So I'm fine with that. But Henry477 nailed it. Until we get really good oracles that are truly decentralized, meaning that they have more than 100 validators on their network, or 21 validators if you're like using like the EOS model and stuff. Like, unless you have really, really good oracles that are timely and quick and ungameable, I think it's going to be very difficult to consider the DeFi space as super attached to the outside world. The reason that why you don't have those problems in like regular markets is because there's regulations which prevent a lot of malfeasance. And since you don't have that in DeFi really, like, I would prefer that there's a better decentralized system which can kind of prevent some of that malfeasant behavior. But you know, I think it's on the roadmap. I think Chainlink has something with that. I really do. I think if they adopt Avalanche as their underlying consensus protocol as well, like, they're gonna see huge gains. I think Chainlink has teeth. I really do. I like Chainlink. I think what they're doing makes sense. In the long term. I think they're great now, but like they could be better. And I think, but with a fully decentralized network, I think like when they run subnets for oracles, like you're going to see some really cool stuff come out of their stuff if they decide to do that. I have no inside information other than I've got a lot of pictures with Sergey and Goon floating around the internet. But yeah, it's something I think that will really make things interesting because you can start tying stuff to reality a little better. You can take actual feeds from actual feed providers that are unbiased and regulated, and then integrate them into DeFi, and now suddenly you have this bridge between the real reality and the virtual reality that is, you know, the fake NFT, DeFi-ish world that is really a self-contained ecosystem in a lot of respects. If you could make a bridge to reality, I think that's where the money is. So it used to be the money was infrastructure. Okay, I've said this on my podcast before on Hashing It Out. I outlined Avalanche. I was like, this is the properties you need to be a successful infrastructure. And I looked for it and I found Avalanche and I joined Avalanche, right? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the secret sauce to the next thing is bridges between the real world and the virtual world of DeFi and crypto. Until those bridges are made, I don't take DeFi very seriously personally, and I don't find them very interesting. And same with NFTs. Like, until you can bridge the gap between NFTs and real goods and services and features and reality, I don't see NFTs being that valuable. Like, I don't think registering a hash of an NFT piece of art is actually worth a damn. I don't. I'm sorry. Early adopter stuff with people stuff maybe, but like I don't see actually like NFTs being worth freaking anything right now. Now, fast forward 2-3 years down the road when we've got much better bridge infrastructure between reality and virtual in place, you're going to see my tone change about all of this stuff. You're literally going to see my tone change. So the instant seamless bridge is what Elk is working on. So, okay, Elk Finance. Let's look at what you're saying there. Elk Finance. Everybody's working on it though. Like, I want it done. I want to see something that actually makes things real. So, I mean, like, again, oracles are the foundational element of that. And a lot of the problems with oracles is that they're not sufficiently decentralized, in my opinion, to do the job they need to do. The only two options they had were classical protocols and Nakamoto. And Nakamoto's too slow, and classical won't scale. So Avalanche changes that. That's why Avalanche as an infrastructure play is huge. And I'm excited to see things like Oracle systems like Chainlink potentially integrate or upgrade their systems to use Avalanche as an underlying protocol using subnets on a fully decentralized open permissionless network, which is why I'm saying we need open and permissionless subnets. It's going to change the game, okay? That's why I'm really pushing for that, is because I believe... Oh, so I can put my hat back on now, I think. I feel like a baby. Big old floating head of Zordon. Power Rangers. Like, look, I really feel like this is where things get real interesting, and you needed this sort of like truly decentralized, staked, green, fast, instant finality network to actually Acid Doesbird made me drink. To actually, tie reality to the chain. That's what we want. Like, that's the big leap the biggest leap next is going to be all the technologies that do that. That's what you need to invest in. Like, that's my belief. I'm not giving actual investment advice, but that's where my money's on, okay? Like you need... Oh my freaking God, will you please stop calling people in my chat racist? I don't care. Like, don't bring that stuff up here. I don't care what beef you have between people. It's not my problem. One more time and I ban you. Anyway, like, literally, I don't care if somebody's racist here. I care. If they're racist in real world, I'm not their moral... Like, I'm not going to morally babysit everybody. So stop being that guy that, like, tries to cancel or rat people out on my stream. I don't care. That's actually... That's anyway, it's not that I don't care about racism. I just don't care if it's not here. It's not my problem if it's not here. This is the area I can control. And right now, you're out of control, Fuzzy Peaches. Do it one more time and I have to ban you. Okay. So, what was I going to say? Bridging reality to the chain is going to be some of the more profitable things, I think, coming up. My guess. So it's not just restricted, by the way, to coins and networks. It's not just networks. Westside Samson, I might do that if he does it again, okay? I gave him 3 strikes. He's got 2 strikes down, so we'll talk about it. Anyway, if you're looking for things that are interesting for blockchain, you don't just look for coins and networks anymore, because consensus has been solved as far as I'm concerned. You know, also, by the way, guys, thank you, Westside Samson, for following. Subscriptions help too, but I want you to know I don't actually make my living off of the subscription money. I make my make my living off of making sure that Avalanche succeeds. But the subscriptions are super helpful to me. And the reason is because it increases my social rank. Viewers are also super helpful to me. So if you want to blast my my Twitch to your social networks and let people know, if I get over 75 viewers on average in a 30-day period, I get to be Twitch partner. And that's kind of a goal. It would be really great for me to have that. So right now I'm Twitch affiliate. It would be nice to be upgraded to partner. For that, I need to average 75 viewers for every stream. Obviously, we got a long way to go for that. So whatever you could do to promote this material would be great. I really appreciate it. And include subscriptions and blasting it on your social networks. I'm happy to bring people on who want to talk to me as well. Just hit me up in my DMs on Twitter at Colin Couché, and I'll be happy to talk to you about maybe coming on and letting you talk about your stuff. But yeah, this is this is important to me. I want to see this sort of go someplace where people could come every day and every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and talk about what's interesting to them, because I do see that crypto is going to continue to be a growing marketplace, and I would like to be a voice in that. And I think Avalanche should be a centerpiece in that conversation. So that's why I'm doing this. But yeah, you don't have to just look at networks. You don't have to just look at tokens. You don't have to look at just ICOs, ISOs. You don't just look at oracles and stuff like that. There's other things that actually impact these bridges between reality and the chain, okay? One of them is actually material sciences, and Cornell has some really interesting work coming out of the material science department. There's things called pucks, for instance. Pucks are these little tiny beads. And basically what you do is they could create vats of these things, and for like less than a cent per bead, you've got what is literally a unique hash that is RFID readable on that bead. And you can embed that into anything. And that hash is like, you could scan it and read it and know that that's, so let's say you put that little hash inside of a picture frame, for instance, and that's what would tie that picture frame to the chain. You could also do that for, say, the inside. You could do similar work for inside of the actual canvas. So in order to remove that, you'd have to literally destroy the canvas. So you'd actually be destroying the property itself, and in order to forge it, well, guess what? You actually can't forge it. It has the same property that a hash collision does, meaning that it would be more interesting to actually... oh, thanks, Chill Bro. Appreciate it. Brother Jonathan, congratulations on your new sub. So in order for you to actually forge this, you would have the same, it would be just as interesting as you doing a hash collision on SHA-256, meaning that it's super unlikely. It's more likely that all the air in the room you're currently in jumps to the other end of the room. So that's really cool. And the fact that it could just provably randomly produce this little RFID puck that's a little tiny thing that you can read, and you can embed it in anything, and they're so cheap to make. Like, this is huge technology that's coming out of all sorts of material science departments are working on similar things. I know that I talked to what's his name begins with the L from Cornell Material Science about self-destructing RFIDs, basically, kind of like, so when you open a bottle and it is exposed to air, it would destruct that RFID. It actually is possible now. You can do something like that. That kind of stuff could be tied to the pharmaceutical industry, the food processing industry. These kind of things are blockchain adjacent, and they would be at scale very valuable. And if you had a blockchain that could scale, they would be doing it today. They would be integrating it today. Well, until Avalanche, you didn't have a blockchain that actually scaled. But now that you do, start looking at blockchain adjacent technologies in a new light, considering that Avalanche itself can support them at the scale they needed to be successful in the first place. So you're talking about, your packaging, your material sciences, you're talking about data processing, you're talking about transportation, you're talking about monitoring systems. All of these things are now fair game for blockchain because Avalanche exists. So there are other ways to invest than simply just looking into coin stuff. And I think subnets are going to be the thing that really kicks off that conversation in a real way. So we're looking at maybe 2 years out before people start having real production systems. Assuming that subnets happen in the next year, we're going to see maybe 2 years, a year after that, before the real use cases start popping up in a real concrete way and at scale. And I'm really excited to see that, but we need to start having those conversations now about where to invest that energy. So, yeah. Thoughts on Arweave? I don't know much about it. I know that's good for storage. I don't look into things unless I have to. So it's not bad from what I understand. I don't know. So permanently throws me off. I don't know why. I don't know. That seems untenable to me. It just does. I don't think in a decentralized manner, storing things permanently is going to be effective. Nodes drop off the network. You should have to pay rent, just like you do with AWS. So I'm suspicious of that. But there might be constraints on the type of data you're storing, which make that actually work. Like if you can, like I see a lot of documents here, okay? If you can only store text documents and they're relatively small, that might work. But then again, what is the difference between a text document and a large video game, for instance? Like, can you store a video game on Arweave? Like a 36 gigabyte copy of Call of Duty? Bigger than the Ethereum blockchain itself? Baseline Protocol is pretty cool, actually. I think they got a good amount of work done there, and I think they've got some cool, interesting stuff. But anyway, okay, let's look at Arweave a little more. Welcome to the Permaweb. On top of Arweave Networks lies Permaweb, a global community that owns blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Marketing. Oof, that's gross. Web archive. Play once to securely store your files. All right, so we need to, if we're going to analyze, yeah, see, here's the other thing is like, all right, so like, how are they doing this? That's the bigger question. So the technology, unfortunately, my camera's kind of obscuring this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Papers, Blockweaves, proof of access. Oof. Let's see. Proof of access. Core technology that powers Arweave is the Blockweave. I hate marketing. This is just a blockchain. Is a linked collection of blocks containing transactions. The Blockweave specifically designed a set of blocks that contain data linking to multiple previous blocks from the network. This data structure allows the network to enforce that miners provide a proof of access to old data in order to add new blocks. Unlike in traditional blockchain where miners are forced to expend electricity, Arweave network miners are also encouraged to replicate valuable data. So it's heavily replicated. That's how they're shooting for permanence. And I gotta say, replication is bad. So here's the thing: it's like it's the only way to do things, but you gotta minimize it, not maximize it. And I hope they're doing that, because the idea behind like every blockchain, for instance, is a fully replicated database. Okay. That's what it is. It literally is a fully replicated global database. That's all it is. It's a database. I hate to tell you, but a blockchain is just a database. And it is fully replicated across every node in the network that's validating it. And and a transaction is just a write to the database. That's all it is. A transaction is literally just a write to that fully replicated database. I hope that they're doing some efficiency stuff here, because it is untenable to take, like, say, 2 gigabytes of data and replicate it across every node. So there's got to be some way that they're fixing that. So let's just see. Here's a store purchase power increase. Faster your spend. The cost of storage increases over time. Well, Core, yeah, all right. So users access to Permaweb, and then, okay, how it works is all the way at the bottom. All right, let's see the yellow paper. Yeah. This work with Arweave protocol, a new blockchain-like data structure called the Blockweave. The protocol is designed to provide scalable and permanent on-chain data storage in a sustainable manner. The Blockweave is okay. Yeah. High transaction fees also inhibit typical. Okay. Pitch. I can't go through this now, and I probably never will. I need a 3 minute. How does this work? I don't need like a BS marketing thing either. I need to know. I mean, like, if you can't describe it in like 3 paragraphs, it probably doesn't work. Like, so there's a few concepts here. They got their own proof of access, not to be confused with proof of authority, which is just a certificate authority anyway. Does Avalanche have a dereplication or smarter replication roadmap? No. That's because the entire point of a consensus protocol is to do replication. That's the purpose. It's to replicate the database. It's to replicate it so that you can get a copy of the database and operate on it and be assured that that copy is correct. And write to it to be sure that everybody else's copy is getting that right. Like, that's the purpose of consensus. Archival nodes are different. Archival nodes are where you record all transaction history associated with the current state. Consensus is assuming you have an up-to-date copy of the current state, can you write to that current state? And validating the current state is a whole nother problem altogether. But basically, it's like, let's just say you got a whole copy of the state, and you want to make sure that your state stays up to date, then that's where consensus comes in. But you need the full copy of the state. Otherwise, what are you operating on, right? So dereplication or smarter replication road mapping, I mean, like, sharding is what that is. And sharding is crappy. I don't think sharding is good user experience. You're going to probably see sharded subnets, but shards are poor user experience compared to everybody having the same copy. That doesn't mean that people aren't going to try it. But let's say, for instance, you have sharded subnets where they're running a sharded smart contract chain. And there's, like, let's say 128 shards. Okay, who validates what shards is a big question you got to ask yourself. And the way that ETH2 tried to do it was this election system, but now you have to get up to date on the current state of the shard before you can actually validate the transactions that come in on that shard. I don't know how long that'll take per shard, for instance. Then you got cross-shard communication. So you basically have an app. It would have to exist on one and only one shard. And if you want to send commands on your smart contract in shard A to commands on your smart contract in shard B, you got to wait for a commitment to happen to the main chain, whatever's coordinating the whole thing. And then that has to confirm, which, by the way, in ETH 2.0, it takes 6 minutes to get one confirmation and another confirmation. So it's 12 minutes. And then, assuming it's confirmed, then it can actually go to the other shard. So it's a poor user experience no matter how you cut it. And I don't see a lot of optimization work going there. Essentially, subnets are shards. They're fully replicated databases, and that is what a shard technically is, but they're ordered by, like, a topic and interest. So if you actually just do a cross-subnet transfer or a cross-chain transfer within a subnet, you've effectively had sharding, and that is effectively state management. So no, I don't think Avalanche is going to go that route. We don't need to. It's bad design. I feel like the next tech frontier is to push state data to the edge in a decentralized, secure way. I don't know what you mean by that, man. Like, the point is to have the data. Yeah, I can't go through this paper right now. I know storage more than I know Arweave. I don't know what's going on with Arweave. I'm happy they're building something in that direction. You know, it's a little difficult to assess something like this right now on air and give an accurate representation. I'm not seeing anything that jumps out, though. Okay. I'm not saying anything doesn't jump out. I just don't see anything that does jump out yet. Okay, so let's look at AVMe. Avme.io. What do I think of the Avme.io? I think they got a beautiful website. Antivirus, anti-Trojan, anti-malware, decentralized. Is that it? Antivirus. Okay, so it's antivirus, anti-Trojan, anti-malware. What does that mean? We are here to create decentralized innovations. When did the future switch from being a promise to being a threat? I still don't know what they do. I should be like what the does this mean? It's beautiful. It's great marketing. Like, if I was a sucker, I'd look at this and go, "Oh man, that's amazing. I bet these guys are dope." But like, literally, all I want to know is, what do you do front and center? And I don't know that. Why would I need anti-malware on Avalanche? What is the problem you're solving? That's the question I want to say. What is the problem you're solving? I want to know that right off the bat. This is a problem. We are solving it. Okay, cool. All right, so this, again, does not tell me what the problem is. What does that mean? Doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, antivirus and malware protection simply decentralized. Malicious software detection. So pretty, by the way, is not the same thing as good. It is pretty, though. Malicious software detection and endpoint detection. AVM accomplishes this by producing 2 new technologies powered within its blockchain infrastructure, including sandbox nodes and virus detection. Artificial intelligence? Opponents delegate sandbox nodes for the detection and ability to react to malicious software. All in one application for your comfort and convenience. Security suite. Like, what do you mean? Software detection and endpoint detection for, like, computers? Like regular computers? Dear Lord, look at this quote. This quote just screams bullshit. I need to be careful. I can't curse on screen. I keep forgetting. And also, what if they're right? Or I'm wrong? I would look like a dork. I mean, I want to encourage people to try stuff. But I'm not getting what I need out of this. So let's look at the white paper real quick. It opens with the tokenomics. Oof, not a good sign. Like, it opens with the tokenomics. It's like, front and center, what do we care about? The token. This organization to be increasingly relying on technology to get business to survive every day. So does the need for security and technology. This need is exacerbated by over 580,000 instances of malware detected every day. But, like, why would this improve the situation? Why do we need blockchain for this? This is like buzzword soup right here. I like magic wand through AIML. I don't know, man. What are they doing? Literally opens with the... Like, this is why I'm not good for the ecosystem, is because I'll give honest opinions. Like, it's good for the ecosystem to let things like this seem awesome. What do you mean, centralized antivirus market? What does that even mean? The market share distribution oligopoly. Write a better antivirus software. People have done it before. Like I get it. These are sales issues. Okay, so like, look, Avast wasn't a big name. If you go like 10 years back, I don't think they were that big of a name, if I recall. Like you were dealing with Symantec. Kaspersky was huge before everybody started hating Russia. Like, literally, there have been a lot of different new pop-up like companies that started to make a name for themselves in like this space. It's not like you can't do that. Make a better product. I don't see how blockchain solves anything. I don't like competition. Like, that's your freaking answer without Nah, I'm done. All right, so I don't want to look at that anymore. I hope it works and I'm wrong. All right, so I need more net. All right, so what do we got? So pretty. So what do you need? Blah, 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 blah. And yet another needless blockchain applications. Quotas from Elon Musk. They didn't even credit him. Time to sell sneakers and add it to the blockchain. Interchange blag is a gimmick. Why would I want to upload my data onto a blockchain just to have it scanned for viruses? I think there's virus definitions maybe stored on the blockchain is what they're probably proposing there. That's the only thing I can think that would actually make sense. I would not upload anything to the blockchain to be scanned, but maybe a common database for virus definitions that's not owned by one particular organization would be good. But by the way, that already kind of exists in a lot of ways, so I don't see why you need a chain for that. Whatever. I mean, like, and how do you validate what goes on that chain? Technically, I'd rather an authority put stuff on that chain. Like, I want an authority to be maintaining. I want centralization. Guys, some things are better centralized. Like, I want to trust somebody who's an expert at antivirus software. I want to trust somebody embedded in very serious organizations who give a crap in antivirus software. I don't want that to be democratized. That I want to be ruled by an iron fist, and I want options. I want lots of competition. That's something you centralize because I want a trusted authority. You know, I don't want any Joe submitting to my antivirus database. That's not how that should work. Freaking crackheads. All right. The fact they opened with their token, you know, like, I want some things to be centralized. You don't decentralize all the things. It's the immature response. It's what you do to sell stuff, and I've said it before to sell stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like, I was hard into it in 2017. Like, needed to win the contract. Gotta say, decentralize all the things. Like, but like, literally, I look at that and I go, so what? Like, what would that do for me that's better than anything that's out there? And by the way, Windows Defender right now, for me, if I'm running on Windows, which is the only thing that I've had a lot of virus issues with ever, Windows Defender is kind of kicking ass. I don't need any of those other software anymore anyway. Symantec is not something I want on my system anymore because Windows Defender is literally destroying everything. It's doing such a good job. So, like, what are you doing? And I'm sure there's... Sell fear. So what's the cool thing is, like, you can see what they're doing is very common tactic, and it's called sell fear. You go out and you find something that people are afraid of and you sell it back to them, right? I can guard you against this thing you're afraid of, and I think I can do it better because magic wand. You literally just go magic wand. Okay, it's a known tactic. Like, you know, it's a snake oil tactic. It's like oh wow, you're afraid of getting arthritis. Well, guess what? I have this arthritis oil, and I promise you, Mrs. 25-year-old woman, you will not get arthritis for as long as you buy this oil from me. Which, by the way, you're probably not going to get arthritis till you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, right? So they'll keep buying that oil and swearing that it works. Sell fear. People buy that crap up because people's brains are broken on a fundamental level. All of us, me too. Our brains are freaking broken. We are broken computers. Every one of us is a broken computer on top of their shoulders. The entire point of marketing and sales is to exploit the flaws in that broken computer that you have resting on your neck. All right. It's not even a brainwash thing, bro. We don't even have to be brainwashed to be broken. Like, we are all broken. Like, all of our computers have a little, like, logic flaw built into them. There's nobody's immune to that. Nobody. So, I got a little weird there, didn't I? Some people are making NFT tokens to save endangered animals. Okay, that's another one. Sell love. Sell hope, sell love. Fuzzy Peaches, you've got a great example there. NFT tokens to save endangered animals. Sell hope, sell love. Always wins. Oh my god. That is a classic. It's just like fear. It's literally like, you could sell hope and love all day long. People will eat that up. Hare Krishna, the MFer. Like, this is what marketing sales is. and we all got to do it to some extent. Like, legitimacy is rare, and you can make more money by being illegitimate. That's why I'm here. I want to improve the legitimate image of Avalanche. Unfortunately, that means I might have to talk ill about people who are working in the Avalanche ecosystem. I'm not just going to S the D of everybody who walks by. Like, I got to be discerning, you know? And I could be wrong sometimes, which, by the way, I love being wrong. Oh my God, being wrong is my favorite thing. It took me a long time in life to figure out that being wrong is a virtue. Like, it took me so long to figure out that being wrong is a virtue, and to actively try to be wrong is probably the best thing you can do for yourself. Actively try to be wrong. It sounds stupid, but it's true. Actively be stupid, actively be wrong. Anybody ever watch a TV show, Columbo? One of my favorite things to do when I'm trying to get information and trying to learn something, even if I already know stuff, by the way, I'll do this if I feel like I am actually an expert in things a lot, and I talk to somebody and they seem very confident in what they're saying, like very confident, the first thing I do, go full Columbo. Oh yeah, you know, I'm so stupid, I'm dumb, I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, maybe you could tell me everything you know. Oh, really? Oh, hey, what's a threshold signature? I don't know what threshold signatures are. Oh, I'm dumb. Like, literally, if you do that, you might learn a new way to explain things. You might learn a new thing that you can then teach somebody else in a better way. Or you might realize that your fundamental understanding of something was either incomplete or completely incorrect. And that's happened to me more than one time, where I thought I knew something, and then I went full Columbo and just was like, oh, you know, I don't know where my hat is, I'm so stupid. And then I learned a whole new thing because this person just went down this tirade of, I'm smarter than you, so I'm going to teach you something. And if you go in and will say, like, you know everything, like, immediately you lose that opportunity. And, like, you know, I don't care if I have the reputation of being stupid. I like it. Like, I'm okay with it. I am. I'm not always the brightest guy in the room. Like, I want people to know that. Like, I don't know everything. So my biggest advice to you guys is, I'm not supposed to give an advice, I don't know, but, like, be dumb. Being dumb is your best asset. Don't be the smartest guy in the room. Strive to be the dumbest person surrounded by the smartest people. You know? Ooh. All right. Let's see. What did I say for stretch? Stretch is one of my things. I just got somebody's telling me to stretch. Socrates is a little bit overboard. Not gonna lie. Okay. Channel points. What do I do for stretch? I forgot what I put there. 250 points. Acid does burn. I stretch to keep my joints happy. That's all I had to do. I don't know. I feel like I didn't do you guys enough stretching. I gotta do a better job stretching on that. So let me get up here for a second. Walk around. Yeah. Yeah. Ladies. So, I love these points. I love these channel points. They're great. Okay, so. So, yeah. Anyway, yo, Fuzzy Peaches, I'm about done with you, man. I don't need you to take your crap elsewhere. Hate to say it, but you're done. I don't need you just crap talking people like all over the place. I'm done. Like, who do you think you are? Like, this is my stream. Stop making it about your beef. Thanks. It's pretty straightforward. I gave you plenty of leeway. Get it out. So yeah, I mean, like, all right, so who wouldn't want to distribute big data, deep learning, anti-malware on the blockchain? Yeah, see, that's perfect. Okay, so that is Yeah, he was definitely annoying, but he was also, that was yes. So like, here's the thing, it's like, I say them like this, but I actually prefer Diogenes' approach. Diogenes of Sinope. Do you guys know who Diogenes of Sinope is? Diogenes of Sinope is my favorite philosopher, if you could call him that ever. He's just the ultimate anti-disestablishmentarianist. And I'm going to... Yeah, so he walked around naked, he jerked off in the public square, he never bathed, he rolled around with dogs, he slept outside, he was dirty and filthy, and he said to anybody whatever he wanted at any time, and nobody, and like literally, like he was like literally just like, his mouth was just going off, and he never censored himself ever. He was the most bluntly honest human being on the planet. And Diogenes is kind of like built up a reputation of not just being gross, but being really intelligently gross, if that makes sense. So, for instance, who was it? Was it Aristotle? Was it Aristotle? I think he's contemporary with Aristotle. Was it Aristotle or was it Socrates? I think it's Aristotle, because Aristotle's all about that classification. Or it could have been Plato, actually. No. He had this really cool... yeah, they call him a cynic. Yeah, I think it was Aristotle. So, he had this really cool story, okay? Oh no, maybe... I can't remember if it was, let's say chicken. So this is a very good story. I can tell the story, but I don't want to like attribute it to the wrong person he was showing up. And so I'm trying to, Plato. Oh, so it was Plato, my bad. Okay. So Aristotle, so basically this, yeah, I have an interesting thing about Alexander. I'll get to that in 1 second with Diogenes. Diogenes is great. Okay. So, Diogenes, heard that Plato was going around describing man as a featherless... wait, what did he say? A featherless biped. Okay, so a man he described as a featherless biped, and that was his sufficient definition for what man is. Featherless biped. That was Plato. Okay, so Socrates, student Plato. So, who, by the way, Socrates was all about like the question why. Ask why for everything. Everything gets at. He's like a 3-year-old. Why? Okay, whatever. You annoying little bastard. Diogenes hears that Plato is teaching his students that man is nothing more than a featherless biped. Okay. I love Free for All Thursdays. Oh man, I get to tell you anything I want. So he's like, okay. He comes in with a fully plucked chicken, and this thing's alive, and he drops it on Plato's desk. He goes, "Behold, a man!" And and Plato was so he was like shown up immediately that his definition was insufficient. Like any idiot could have thought this, but like Diogenes is like, whatever. So he plucks a chicken of all its feathers and drops it there and says it only has 2 feet, it's a biped, and it has no feathers. He's like, behold, a man. And so Plato is like, okay, well, with broad, flat nails. So that's what he added. He added this basically one little thing is like, okay, well, yeah, whatever. Like broad, flat nails. It's all, if you find me a chick with broad, fat nails, then I win. It was just like, you got showed up, bro. You got showed up so hard. And it's famous, like the famous quote from Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great was contemporary with, well, that makes sense, Plato. Alexander the Great was said of Diogenes, okay? If I were not Alexander the Great and I could be anybody else, I would be Diogenes of Sinope. I would be Diogenes. And Diogenes, upon hearing this, and goes, if I were not Anybody else, I would also want to be Diogenes of Sinope, which is kind of like a big FU to Alexander the Great. He was right to his face, and that's the reason he's the only person who could get away with that at that time, is because of what he was and who he was. So Diogenes of Sinope, the ultimate cynic, fantastic philosopher, like really, really great guy, really filthy freaking dude, like just fapping in the middle of the town square like he's an animal. That was his philosophy, actually. His philosophy is that man is nothing more than an animal, and to some degree he's correct. So I don't know how we got on the topic of Diogenes of Sinope, but I think it had to do with the whole Socratic method and stuff like that, the classics. So where are we? What are we talking about now? I actually don't know what's going on at Bitcoin Miami. Maybe. So, let's find out what's actually happening there, because I have not once looked into it. I don't know who most of these... Really? Well, Ron Paul will be there, guys. Famous Bitcoiner Ron Paul is going to be at Bitcoin Miami. As we all know, based Ron Paul, let me refresh to see, make sure it's not randomized or something like that, right? Oh no, that's not randomized. They opened with Ron Paul. Yo, Ron switched to the gold standard. Ron Paul. Let's be clear, Ron Paul is all about that gold standard, or at least he was. I don't have a problem with Ron Paul, by the way. I think he's actually, on some levels, a genuine dude. I think he's an old dude who has old ideas, but I don't have a problem with him. Yeah, Itzmar CPS, I definitely did. You'll see it on the VOD. I'm not going back over that again. So basically, he's leading the lineup here. I don't know who this lady is. Assuming that's a lady. And, it's the MicroStrategy dude. And Jack Dorsey. And Tony Hawk, famous Bitcoiner Tony Hawk will be there, guys. Famous influencer in the Bitcoin space, Tony Hawk will be there. I did not plan this. I literally just scrolled down. I cannot make this stuff up. Sorry, keep doing that. And then famous right-wing crazy person, Nick Szabo. Thank you for inventing the term smart contracts, Nick Szabo. I hate to say it, but that is not the right terminology. I don't like it. We don't have anything better to propose, but you did invent the term smart contracts, so thank you. Boy, did he go to the right. So I guess we can all tell that this is going to be a right-wing biased conference, which, honestly, I got nothing against libertarians and right-wing, to be frank with you. I think there's crazy people on all sides, and we all got to just look at everybody with a little bit of a humility, including myself. So, yeah, but it's just strange to me to open with Ron Paul. I don't know who Senator Cynthia Lummis is. Maybe I should. Michael Saylor makes sense. Jack Dorsey makes sense. Tony Hawk does not make sense. And Nick Szabo makes sense. It actually makes sense to put Nick Szabo up there, in my opinion. It makes perfect sense. Now, he's caught a lot of shade because of his political views are very on display, and a lot of people don't like them, but that's separate from his work, and his work was good. So that makes sense. And yeah, Wyoming. Okay. Yeah, I don't know who she is. Financial systems. Okay. So she's got chops. She makes sense. Wyoming's also been a very pro crypto state. So, she makes perfect sense. That's great. She makes really good, perfect sense. I agree with that. Of course, that's fine. Tony Hawk, I got to see how they tied that one in. So he's been riding Bitcoin for 6 years, hasn't bailed yet. So that's his He's got a tweet. All right. In 1999, he was famously landed 900 first time, just minutes away from where Bitcoin 19 was held. That's so loose, bro. That's loose. All right, whatever. You know, he likes Bitcoin. Put him up there. He's famous. It's cool. I'm cool with it. And you know, we all know who Nick Szabo is, I think. So he's you know, I mean, like, I don't know what to say. He's a very intelligent man with also some very controversial ideas on what right and wrong is. I don't fully agree with him on that. I respect his right to have those opinions, though. So, and I respect his work. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. So we got Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm not shocked he's there. Dr. Bitcoin MD. I actually don't know who that is, but I've seen his name around like a lot, so I don't know. Like I don't really follow that space too much. Austrian economics. All right, like, oh, Lolly. I hate the name of this company. I keep saying it's terrible marketing, but it seems to be working for them anyway, so maybe I'm the wrong one, but I was raised in a time when Lolly meant something different, and it's not a good name. But I guess I'm the one who didn't notice that, or I'm the weird one. But Lolly meant something totally different, and every time I hear it, I can't not think of that, and I'm like, why are you naming a company after that? I don't know. Right. So, so like a lot of these people I'm not going to know. I'm not deep in I don't like Bitcoin. I already said that. I never cared about Bitcoin. I like Sam Bankman-Fried. He's cool. I mean, I don't think Solana was the right choice, but I think at the time he made that choice, it probably seemed like it. So that makes sense. Yeah, I like him. I think he's doing good work. Not that I'm fully intimate with it. Yeah, like that, chill, bro. What is wrong with that? Come on. Stop. Yeah, no, these are pretty good names, I guess. Probably, I don't know. Maybe some of these are controversial, maybe they're not. I don't know who most of these people are. I wouldn't, though. I'm glad to see somebody from Decentralized Identity from Microsoft. That's a topic I really care about. And since I care about that, let me shill a couple of friends of mine that I met in Austin that I think, you know, they did good work, and maybe you guys can like look at them sometime if you care. I like these people. Their CEO Carol Fowler's a really good person. Their CTO Ori Steele, he's really great as well. They're doing some good work with Decentralized Identity. I'll shill my friends. There you go. Since it came up, you're looking at Decentralized Identity. Maybe look at these guys. They're pretty smart people. All right. This guy I think I've seen before. Polychain. Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Like, I don't even know who Nick Carter is. I know I'm supposed to. Like, that's kind of like where I'm at, just so you guys know. Like, this is not for me. That's just who I am. It has nothing to do with them. Tim Draper. Tim Draper. I know that name. I know that guy. I've seen him. He loves his Bitcoin. Founder of Fake Business. Yeah. I'm never going to get invited to something like this because I'm not a Bitcoiner. Her name's Molly. Just Molly. CMO. It's like share. Like share. Just like no Twitter, no nothing. Hashkey Hub. Molly. Just Molly. Why am I focused on her? I can even move on. Okay. You know why. All right. Let's see. Wow, there's just a lot of people here that I just don't know who they are, and they probably don't know who I am either, so it's fine. I mean, it's like whatever. This space is huge. I mean, I'm not nobody. I'm nobody. These people are probably more somebody than I am. I'm just trying to point out that I don't follow Bitcoin. I know Haley. She does good tweets. I like her. She does good tweets. She tweets well. Where's Heavily Armed Clown? Did I miss that one? Oh, snap. Co-creator, what the fuck happened? 1971. I like his style. I don't know who he is though. So yeah, there's that. I have not I'm only just now looking at any of this stuff. Gone through these people. Mike Novogratz. Yeah, so like I'm so detached from Bitcoin that. Oh, I like Andrew. I did an interview with Andrew Polstra on Hashing It Out, and I'm going to use this as an opportunity. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to do that. We talk a lot about, well, we get into Schnorr signatures and patents with regard to that, which I think is great. So yeah, definitely check out that interview. You talk about some Mimblewimble stuff. Yeah, but he's smart. I like him. Rockstar Dev. Yeah, this just keeps going. Marco Santori. Don't know who he is. You just got Charlie Shrem. Ooh, that's a name. I know who Charlie Shrem is. And Jimmy Song, I know Jimmy Song with his cowboy hat. And Elizabeth Stark. Why are these people all the way at the bottom? Is this alphabetical? This is alphabetical. Oh, that sucks. And then the mayor of Miami, who's suddenly boosted into fame. I guess. I don't get that. Maybe I'll get it someday. I'm just too stupid to get it right now. Fred Thiel. Is he related to the Thiel? Peter Thiel? Funny. I actually know Bettina Warburg and Tom Saris because I worked with them at Animal Ventures in 2017 for the whole year. Good people. I like them. I never met Salvatore though. He came on after I left, I guess. Peter Todd. I have no idea who these guys are. Sucky to have your name at the bottom, you know what I mean? Like really, like God, that must stink. Whale Day speakers. What the heck is Whale Day? Yeah. So these guys are whales, I take it? Man, that's a lot of suits. That is not what I envision when I think Bitcoin, you know? Like, what is this? Like, I thought we were supposed to be like super like what happened to the space? Why is everybody wearing a suit? What are you doing? Like, what? Look at these nerds. Maybe I'm the nerd. I don't know, but like, what happened, man? This is not what I signed up for. You know? All right. Well, that's an interesting speaker lineup. Anytime somebody says interesting, ooh, there's an esports section. Nice. Over 1 BTC in prizes. Over 1 BTC! How the world has freaking changed, man! 1 Bitcoin! Like, what? The world has changed so much. You know? Bitcoin's real money now. Like, this is real, like, mainstream. Like, this is what people want now. And, dude, I'm not wearing a suit ever. I did that for work before. I wore black suits and I wore gray suits and I wore ties and everything, and I'm not doing that crap anymore. I am 39 years old and I am set in a place where I no longer have to be that guy. I do not want to look like a freaking used car salesman my entire life. yo, I am wearing what I want to wear. And that's jeans, a flannelish shirt, and a black cap. And that's it. Bruh, you look 30. Thank you. I'm going on 40. Like, I'm 39. I'm 39. I'm 39 years old. So, I'm not going on 40. That will be March 1st next year. Like, but like, look, I wear, these are my kicks, all right? This is my house shoes. They're Vans. My regular shoes, just Vans sneakers. I'm in love with Vans right now. One day I might not be. I'll wear something else. But, like, I want to wear what I want to wear. Oh, here, how about this? You want to see my undershirt? Take it off, baby. Let me show you. Be good. Like, I wear what the hell I want. Do you think those people want to wear suits? Is that what they want to do? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Is this what Bitcoin is? Suit fest? Oh, well, I might have, I have a Vox merch. Like, I actually have a Vox shirts that are OG, like, original, like, shirts that were given out the day I started working there, and then another one that came out later. And I had these little cubes. Let me see if I can find one. This works. Okay. So I got these little cubes, okay? And for years, it was my own personal marketing tactic. Okay, I don't do it anymore, but somebody told me a really good story. And so I'm gonna pass this story to you guys. Basically, the story is this. Guy goes to a company, and he's working at this major firm, enterprise firm, and he wants to really stand out. So one day, he's carrying a tangerine around for his lunch, and people noticed him. He noticed that people were looking at the tangerine as he walked around. Okay, so he walks around, he's carrying a tangerine, he realized that people saw him having the tangerine. So the next day, he brings another tangerine, and he's carrying the tangerine, he's noticing that people are associating him with the tangerine. Everybody in this company is wearing a suit, everybody's wearing the same color outfit, everybody's wearing the same kind of ties, everybody's wearing the same everything. You know, it's your typical enterprise level suity company, right? Nobody's supposed to stand out in any egregious way. But when he carried that tangerine, people noticed him, and they noticed his work more. So he started carrying a tangerine every day. And he became known as the tangerine guy. Oh, do you know Jim? Yeah, he's the guy with the tangerine in his hand. You'll know him. Didn't break any of the company policy, didn't break any rules, just carried a tangerine in his hand. Okay? So for years, I was like, I'm going to look for my tangerine. I'm going to find my tangerine. And it was about 2 years later after I heard, maybe 4 actually, now I think about it, it's a long time. 4 years after I heard that tangerine, I went to a kind of like a little mini geek fest at some brewery, all right? And I go there and somebody had some 3D printed cubes. These cubes are kind of like Jacob's Ladder cubes. And here's one of them, okay? And it's like this. You could just like rotate it around. And I was like, oh my God, it's a freaking blockchain, right? So these are blockchains. And I just walk around, I just bought it, and I just started walking around with my own little blockchain in my hand all the time, all right? And I did that because I wanted people to notice my work, and I wanted it to be a little marketing tactic for myself. So I'm the blockchain guy now. So like I wanted to be known as the blockchain guy. So what do? Instead of being the tangerine guy, I go around and I carry a blockchain. So not only that, but the blockchain I carried around was green. And I said, yeah, it's green for money. So they go, oh, is that your blockchain? I go, yeah, it's green for money. That was my response. So I got a green for money blockchain. In fact, I have that one. This is the OG green from, oh, wow. That's dope. It's so cool. Oh my God. That's so cool. I'm so happy about that. Oh my God. You have no idea. I'm in your cybers. All right. So it was It's green for blockchain and green for chroma key. It's literally that was just cool, guys. It's literally a blockchain, okay? And so I carried this blockchain in my hand. I walked around, and everybody would be like, yeah, he's the blockchain guy. You'll notice him, he has a blockchain in his hand. Like, that's what I wanted to be. And so I would just constantly carry this thing and just flip it around in my hand. It would keep me busy, and I would talk to people and flip it around in my hand, which would distract the shit out of them and give me a little bit of a power advantage. And so, like, I had these little chains, and it would just click around, and I just always had it. And so people would associate me with blockchain right off the bat. It was my tangerine. Well, we needed to make some swag because we were going to go to conferences and stuff before COVID hit. And so I actually got a 3D printer, and we made, I don't know if you can see it, but this has little Avalanche logo on it. This is a piece of Avalanche swag. It is an Avalanche blockchain, 3D printed, and I got hundreds of them that were sitting in the company apartment going nowhere because COVID hit and all conferences were canceled. And we couldn't take them. We couldn't do anything. So literally, I don't have them anymore. They're not mine. The company bought them. But these are Avalanche original Colin Couché printed blockchains that you can give out at conferences, and they cost like $2 each, but you will see hundreds of people walking around with little blockchains in their hand, and all of them associate Avalanche with blockchain. So that's why I did that. I wanted to print a bunch of them, and I'm so disappointed that never got to happen. My vision was that we would give these out for free at conferences, and everybody would just walk around with these little things in their hand. They go, where did you get that? You go to the Avalabs booth and you'll get your blockchain. Go to Avalabs and you'll get a blockchain. That's what I'm envisioning. It was like hundreds of these people walking around, just like click, 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 all different colored, some pink, some white, some black. Oh, that's so cool. Where'd you get that? Go to Avalabs. That was the vision. Never got to come to fruition though, unfortunately, because COVID hit and all things were canceled. I would love to take your money, JC Elk. I would love to take your money. Avalanche snow globes, another cool little thing. If you can make little tiny 3D printed snow globes, I don't know if that's even possible. That would be dope. But yeah, I like this because they're easily mass produced. Easily. I found the template that made some online, and then I had somebody put a logo on the side of it, and very cheap, made tons of them. And they're just sitting in a box in the company apartment. So, all right, guys, let's see. Is there anything else we got to look at here with regard to I like Bitcoin 2021 stuff? There's an art gallery, so more Bitcoin art. That's always popular. Look at all these. Look at this. Do you think Guy Fawkes? Let me ask you guys something, okay? Guy Fawkes, is a symbol for Anonymous, and it came from the mask idea came from the Frank Miller V for Vendetta, which then was turned into a movie, which Frank Miller refused to watch. Was it Frank Miller? Why is my brain? Who wrote that? Alan Moore. Sorry, Jesus, I knew that was wrong. Alan Moore. He refused to watch it. Blah blah. And now it's like he's in all this art, but I want to show you the whales page on like Bitcoin. The whales are all like the suit, zoot suit, riot, throw me a bottle of beer. Don't know why I did that, but like literally, like where did the culture go? What happened? Am I stupid? Or did this just become very corporate? Look at this. This is like Mickey Mouse setting things on fire. There's Abraham Lincoln and Bitcoin, and I don't even know what that, like literally but then you look at the people talking, and they're the least freaking like Guy Fawkesy people you ever saw. They're the type of people, people V would have killed. Like, am I missing something here, guys? Like, the ideology's blown out, gone. The ideology's gone. The ideology has died. It's no longer about ideology. It's about money now. There's no more ideology in Bitcoin. It's over. It's over. You know? Like, it's over. Money won. It always wins. Like, why is Tony Hawk here? Not to hate on him. I think he's great. I think he's amazing. He created a brand that's an incredible brand, just around himself, and is an amazing skater. Physically, does some incredible stuff, right? Like, but like, what has this got to do with anything? Whatever. I'm just hating now. So. Do you think they think in wearing suits will help governments adopt Bitcoin? I don't think Bitcoin's ever going to be adopted. I don't think it will. It can't. It's too slow. It's too slow. Anyway, guys, I'm kind of hungry. You know what I mean? Like, I could talk to you guys here forever. Thursdays are my favorite days already, because I don't feel restricted to be one way or the other. I'm not like on Tuesdays I got to be like all super Avalanche-y, which I love. Don't get me wrong, I love Avalanche, but like, you know, I feel like I strain to keep it on a particular topic. I really do. Wednesdays is the same deal except with technology. Like I have plenty to talk about, but I strain to keep it on a particular topic. I don't have to strain today. I just do whatever the heck I want, and that's fun. I just like talking into the mic. I hate to be that guy. I like talking. I like talking to you guys. I like telling you what I think. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream right now. But thank you for showing up. I'm hungry. I'm going to go eat. Again, every sub that you give is pretty dope. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. There's your hydrate. So yeah, every time you show up, it really makes me warm. I love to see the regulars. Keep you in regulars. Do me a favor though, like, spread the word. Like, I really want this to go different places. I want to see this stream grow. So spread the word. You know, help me out. Everything you do is appreciated, and I really appreciate you all. Like, you mean a lot, you know. Bye, guys.